Hello my friends, welcome back to my vlog channel. It's your girl Haley Jean, and somehow it is already almost February, which means it's about time to film another TBR video. I thought we could finally bring back the good old TBR jar and do a TBR jar picks my reads for February. We're this close to getting through winter, thank God. And actually January was such a good reading month for me, so hopefully we can keep that energy going into February. But really quickly, I did just want to go over my January TBR. In case you missed my January TBR video, these are the books that I put on my January TBR, and these are the ones that I managed to read, and then I also read these additional books as well. So let's talk about February's reads. Before I start picking prompts out of the TBR jar, I do want to put my February book club pick on my TBR. Every month I read a new romance book with my besties over on my Patreon. And for February, we are reading Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is her new release. I think it comes out February 4th. All I know is that it is a sports romance about a swimmer. It's probably the typical Ali Hazelwood formula, but I am really excited to pick this up and see how it goes. So that is going to be the first book that I put on my TBR. Obviously, I don't have a copy yet, but it's on the way. It's in the mail. Okay, now for the TBR jar. I think I'm going to pick out 5 prompts. I feel like 6 books on the TBR is like a good spot for me right now. So prompt number 1. Okay, it's long. A book where one of the main characters is bookish. Okay, so one of the main characters either needs to be like an author, a reader, a writer. I might have to do some thinking. I also have my TBR cart, which has my 2024 TBR right in front of me, so... Oh! This is perfect. Okay, I think I have to go with A Novel Obsession by Caitlin Barish. This is a book about a woman who begins dating this man, and she kind of becomes obsessed with his ex-girlfriend. So obsessed, in fact, that she begins writing her novel about his ex. 24-year-old New York bookseller Naomi Ackerman is desperate to write a novel, but struggles to find a story to tell. If that isn't the most relatable story that I've ever heard. Me as fuck. When after countless disastrous dates, she meets Caleb, a perfectly nice guy with a Welsh accent and a unique patience for all of her quirks. But then, Caleb's ex-girlfriend Rosemary enters the scene. Naomi is threatened and intrigued in equal measure. If they both fell for the same man, what else might they have in common? The more Naomi learns about Rosemary, the more her curiosity consumes her. Before she knows it, her casual Instagram stalking morphs into friendship under false pretenses and becomes the subject of her newest novel. Sounds messy, sounds unhinged. It has a gorgeous pink cover, perfect for the Valentine's season. I think this is a great book to put on the February TBR. All right, let's go in for prompt number 2. Okay. One of the lowest rated books on your Goodreads TBR. Okay, so obviously I do have a Goodreads. You can follow me. It's linked in the description box of every single video. And I do try whenever I buy a physical book or whenever I just come across a book online that sounds interesting, I will add it to my want to read list. I currently have 122 books on my Goodreads TBR list. I am going to sort it by average rating in reverse, and we will pick one of the first 5 books on the list to read. I'm actually gonna screen record so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, here we have it. We have Damsel by Elena K. Arnold. This is a standalone fantasy. I do have this on my physical TBR. We have Glossy. This is a nonfiction. I do not own it yet though, so I don't think I want to do that one. Vladimir, I do have a copy of. This Ravenous Fate, I have a copy of. Okay, so I think it's going to be between Damsel or this Ravenous Fate. I think I'm going to go with Damsel because it is the lowest rated out of all of them, and it also has the least amount of pages. This is less than 300 pages. It has 298 pages, and it is a standalone fantasy. The rite has existed for as long as anyone can remember. When the king dies, his son Prince must venture out into the Grey Lands, slay a fierce dragon, and rescue a damsel to be his bride. This is the way things have always been. When Emma wakes in the arms of Prince Emery, she knows none of this. She has no memory of what came before she was captured by the dragon, or what horrors she faced in his lair. She knows only this handsome young man, the story he tells of her rescue, and her destiny of sitting on a throne beside him. It's all like a dream, like something from a fairy tale. Interesting. I wonder why this has such a low rating. It has an average of 3.3 stars, but it's also award winning. So I don't know, very polarizing book. I'm excited to pick it up and see how I feel about it. That is book number 3 on my February TBR. All right, time for prompt number 3. I'm gonna try and get one from the bottom. Got it. A book with a TV or movie adaptation. Ooh, okay. I don't know if this is technically gonna count, but this is my channel and my videos, so it's my rules. I do believe that Fourth Wing got picked up to be a TV series, I believe. And so I'm gonna bend the rules a little bit and I'm going to allow myself to use this prompt to put Onyx Storm on the TBR. This just came out at the end of last month and I've been in a fantasy mood and I've been itching to read it. I feel like the FOMO is really getting to me, seeing all my book besties on Goodreads and even in our Patreon book chat reading this. Like I want to read it too. Technically, this series is getting a TV adaptation. So I'm gonna count this, and this is gonna be book number 4 on my February TBR. All right, prompt number 5. A book with a 1-word title. Perfect. Oh my gosh, this is literally perfect. I need to read Intermezzo. I've started it. I'm 2 chapters in, but again, I've been in more of like a fantasy mood, so I just haven't picked it up. This is the last book that I need to read for my reading my subscribers' favorite books of 2024 video. So hopefully that'll come out sometime in February once I finish Intermezzo. And so I'm gonna put this on the TBR. I'm just obsessed with this blue cover and I'm a Sally Rooney girl, so hopefully this does not let me down. And hopefully I get in the mood for some lit fic later this month. I don't know. I really just have been on like a fantasy grind. I feel like winter is the perfect time to read fantasy. Let me know. What kind of genres do you like to read in certain seasons? I love romance and like contemporary fiction in the summer. But fall and winter is all about the fantasy and the horror. Anyway, okay, let's pick our 6th and final TBR prompt. Another little short one. Speaking of anything fantasy, wow. Honestly, this video is going so perfectly. Girl, that's a... Okay, I need to look at my shelves for a second. Anything? Holy shit, I need my glasses. This is getting serious. How could I forget? Me and my fiance are currently in the process of reading this series. He wanted to read Thunderhead with me in February. So I believe that this is like more of a dystopian fantasy, but I think it still counts. This is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This is the 2nd book in the Arc of a Scythe trilogy. The 1st book is Scythe. I read Scythe all the way back in like 2023 or 2022. And I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I made my fiance and my younger sibling read it, but for some reason I just never picked up the 2nd book and I never continued the trilogy. But now that my fiance's read it, he wants to continue, and so I think it would be really fun for us to have our own little 2-person book club and get to read this together. Thunderhead is going to be the 6th and final book on my February TBR. So all of these, along with Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, that is going to be my February TBR. This stack is looking appetizing. It's looking entertaining. I'm excited to dive in. There's a truck. Let me take a thumbnail while that's happening. Do let me know in the comments below what books you plan on reading in the month of February. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it all the way to the end, comment a pink emoji in the comments. And definitely like and subscribe and stay tuned because I actually have a bonus video coming later this week just because I love you. Hopefully I'll talk to you next time. Bye.